Hello, welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda. It is Friday, which means it is 5 on Friday time. So 5 on Friday was started by Suey at Suey's Book Banner, and I kind of jumped on her bandwagon. So every Friday, Suey's taking a break from it right now, but when she's back at it, or right now me, give you a list of 5 books based on a theme, and it could be anything. This is my actually last 5 on Friday until April because I will be on vacation. So you won't see it for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, so let's get started. Now, the way I do it is I set a timer and I talk for 5 minutes. There is no editing other than adding a picture, or in one case, blocking out a spoiler I once gave, but that's not going to happen this time. But let me start my watch here for 5 minutes, and then I just talk for 5 minutes, and I'll see if I can get all of these books in. And I got the old camera going. Okay. Because this is my last 5 on Friday until April, I thought I would once again kind of concentrate on maybe helping people with their April TBRs. There's probably a lot of reading events going on in April, but the 2 that I'm kind of focused on go really well together. They're People April and Fierce Women. Is that what it's called? Anyway, that's all about like strong women because it's like Women's History Month. And People April is all about reading biography, memoir, anything about people, nonfiction. So I have 5 selections that might work for one or both of those. And I am going to start with the one that I do not have a physical copy of, although I have both an audio and a digital copy, and that is Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. Tina Fey is very funny, and you are going to laugh in this one. But this is basically about her sort of experience growing up as a woman and what she's gone through. It goes through her time with SNL and starting 30 Rock. She's very astute, very funny. This is, as I said, I have read it and I have listened to it. And this is in one case, lots of times with these sorts of books, it's better to listen or it's better to read. I will say in this case, it doesn't matter. They're both great experiences. So highly recommend Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. It's a lot of fun. An also fun, maybe a little bit more serious, is Hungry Heart by Jennifer Weiner. If you don't know who Jennifer Weiner is, she is an author of what she has proclaimed is chick lit. I don't like that term. She has used it for her own books. That's why I'm using it here. It's more sort of popular fiction that tends to focus on the lives of women. She's been in the business for a very long time at this point, from her 20s. She's now in her 50s. She's been writing that whole time. And this is just her memoir of her life and what she's had to face going, through this career. Now, she also has an interesting little career facet in that she kind of took on the New York Times and how they treated female writers and commercially successful writers. So she handles that really well too. That's an interesting aspect of her life that she goes into, but it goes into a whole bunch of other things that she deals with. I loved this book. This was a 5-star book for me. And yeah, I know people who don't like Jennifer Weiner's books generally, but love this book. So highly recommend. Also have read this and listened to it on audio. Recommend both. Yeah, there's no pictures in here, so you aren't missing anything. We're going to stick with writers, and we're going to do kind of a surprising memoir. And that is Come Tell Me How You Live by Agatha Christie Mallowan. So we all know Agatha Christie and her penchant for killing people. And this book I picked up knowing it was a memoir. I was completely shocked by this because it seems like a completely different person wrote it. She is funny and effervescent, and just her joy of life comes through. This book was actually written as a love letter to her second husband, so it is very sweet. Admittedly, the timeline is a little bit fuzzy here. It sounds like this was all one trip. It was actually several trips over a few years. Doesn't matter. Just a lot of fun of her going on archaeological digs in Iraq. It's a surprising book. Not what you would expect from Agatha Christie, but well worth a read. And then we're going to go for the queen, Michelle Obama. I'm sure you've read this book already. If not, you need to be reading this book in April because this is one of the most inspiring memoirs I have ever read. Again, read it and listened to it. Actually, I prefer this one listened to audio just because she reads it herself. And that just brings a lot more to it. I loved this book. My big regret with this book was that it came out after my mother had passed, and I would have loved to have forced her to read it because she had some unfair views about Michelle Obama, and I think that would have straightened a lot of that up, and I think that she hopefully would have seen her in a different light. This is a great book. Now, sticking with queens, but a total left turn here, we're going to go for, finally, The Dark Queens. This is by Brunhild and Ferdinand, who are Merovingian. They were like sisters-in-law or something like that, but they're very vicious and they're fierce. They're fierce. And as I have always said, one of them is House of Cards because she's very political and she plays that game really well. And the other one's Game of Thrones and she takes no prisoners and they go at it with each other. This book is history, but it reads like a novel. If you think you don't like history, read this book because it reads like a novel. It's amazingly good. Loved this book. I keep pushing this book into people's hands. If you are doing Historathon, I recommended this to Matt at Basque on the Story, and he checked. This is eligible. This falls into the time range for Q2 at Historathon. So there, you can count it for that too. 3 things. It's a triple header. Highly recommend. This is by Shelley Puhak, by the way. And that's 5. That's 5 minutes. Perfect. I made it. So there you go. If you are doing Fierce Women and or People April, let me know what you're reading down below. I am shortly going to be doing my April TBR / Pile of Possibilities, so you will see some of what I will be reading in that. And again, I will not be doing this video for the next 2 weeks, but I will be back the first Friday in April with a 5 on Friday. So thank you very much. Like, subscribe, join my Discord, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.